Good evening. Let me just, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. So I was just putting the feelers out. I have to manually share the stream to various places. So thank you for watching. Welcome from wherever you are. Let me know in the comments, where are you? I'm currently in the UK. You might be able to tell. It's freezing, so I'm taking a break. I am taking some time off for family. I am working. We visited some fantastic schools. All of that content will be published in the next couple of months. But I am currently in the UK, freezing. So I hope that if you're in Hong Kong, you're slightly warmer than I am, although I know it has taken a turn for the cold. So in just a few moments, I'll take off that "we're starting in a few minutes" banner. I am talking about assessments. So now is the time that you are taking your little ones. We're focusing on little ones, the 3-year-olds in particular, and also the 4-year-olds. So next year they will be entering either reception or year 1. So we are focusing on assessments, some do's and don'ts. And are assessments for 3-year-olds just a bit nuts? What do you think? I often get asked, why do I need to take even my 2-year-old, even my 1-year-old? Why do I need to take my 1-year-old, my 2-year-old, my 3-year-old? What could the schools possibly find out by meeting my toddler for 30 to 40 minutes? Well, there's quite a lot that they can find out, actually. So are assessments for 3-year-olds nuts? No, I don't think they're nuts. Do you? I don't really see any way around it. You know, if you are a top school in Hong Kong and you are receiving hundreds of applications per place, what choice do you have? And I know that the schools are always looking to optimize their processes. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a lot of changes. Throughout COVID, a lot of schools were doing temporary measures, i.e. videos and whatnot, but they've come out of that now. Obviously, they do want to meet the children in person, but that might not be available for all children, and that might not be the first step. So definitely schools are embracing tech more, but it's a constant process of evolution, as it were. They're just iteration, I should say, looking to optimize and iterate. Each year they'll do something a little bit differently. So we're trying to keep up with everything. I believe that no, it's okay. There's lots going on in the background. So we're talking to schools all the time about their processes and procedures and giving feedback. And if you would like to ask me anything about an assessment that you have that is upcoming, or an assessment that you recently completed, because now is assessment time. We'll take a break for the Christmas holidays, and then the assessments will resume again in January, and then the results will start to come through by the end of, some of them come through in December, but then most of them are a little bit later. So do you have any questions about assessments for little ones today? Put your comments in the wherever you're watching from, whichever platform. We're live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, in various places. And if you're watching live, this is a chance for you to ask me anything. So I have a few tips and tricks. They're not tricks, they are tips, a little bit of advice for you if you are taking your little one for an assessment in the next couple of days or couple of weeks or couple of months, as it were. The first thing to say is preparation. Lots and lots of parents will ask me, what can I do to prepare? And that dreaded word, training. I absolutely cannot stand this word when it is applied to this context, in terms of supporting a 3-year-old to get familiar with the format of an assessment. That's the terminology that I would prefer to use, because to me, training is much more better applied to like a fitness regime, rather than a very short term This is not a quick fix. So in terms of preparation, there is nothing that you can do in a few weeks um, that's going to make a very, very big, significant difference. Now, what you can do in a few weeks, and by a few weeks, I would say 6 to 8 weeks, and we'd been doing these since back in August, is a little bit of familiarity with the assessment format, a little bit of familiarity with the sorts of tasks and the style of tasks that the children will be asked to complete, and a little bit of familiarity with the unfamiliar. So changing classrooms, changing teachers. This can help to give a child a little bit more confidence and familiarity with what they are going to be doing on the assessment day. But in terms of longer term preparation, everything that you have been doing from birth up till this point has been preparation for the assessment. And more specifically, the school that your child has been in, potentially for a year and a half prior to the assessment. This is going to be the absolute best preparation possible. Other sorts of preparation, I mean, it's just parenting, really. We do see a lot of children who are not a little bit shy. A little bit shy is fine. Lots and lots of children are shy, but then are they exposed to lots of different people, lots of children of their own age in lots of different situations? Are you building confidence in your children at home, in the things that you do, the little things that you do every single day? I think we're going to have to do another session on that. I have some friends and colleagues who are much more qualified to speak about the psychology, of parenting, but it's about, broadly speaking, it's about building confidence and independence in our little ones, and not being those helicopter parents, and not being, wrapping them up in cotton wool and hoping that they're never going to fall down. So I promised you some tips on assessments. So that's why you're here. Thank you for joining. I can see lots more people coming in now. If you do have any questions or comments, put them in the wherever you're watching it from, put your questions and comments in the box and I will get to them. So do's, let me see if I can do 3 of each. I've got some notes, but not completely. So I'm thinking on the fly a little bit. Do's. Do visit the school prior to the assessment day. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can do this. And I mean, do visit the school with your child. So take your child to the building. Now, great if you can get inside the building, but perhaps you can't. Perhaps there's not an opportunity. So the first thing to do is, if you haven't booked an appointment, if there's no well, the schools have been doing quite a lot of events, like starting from Halloween, leading up to Christmas. They'll have a jam or a fair or a carnival or something like that. And so if there is an opportunity to take your child to one of these open events, I would highly recommend that you do that. And then you'll be telling your child that this is where you'll be bringing them next Saturday or next month or whenever, and they're going to meet some teachers, so that they will hopefully remember their surroundings, and it won't be so overwhelming. So if there is an opportunity to visit the school in one of these events, do that. If not, the second best thing to do is just do a drive-by, just do a walk around. On a Sunday, you won't be able to enter any of the school grounds, but you can just walk around the block and you can talk to your child. This is the building, this is the name of the school, look at the colors of the branding and all the rest of it. Maybe they have friends that go there, and just getting them used to the environment and used to the name of the school and talking about the school. So that would be the second best approach. But the first do is try to visit the school before you actually take your child for the assessment. The next do is dress. So I don't know if you've heard me say before, but a lot of the assessments are on a Saturday. So as adults, as the parents, that might to some extent dictate. If you're coming straight from the office and you're in business attire and it's during the week, that's perfectly fine. If it's on a Saturday, you do not need to wear business attire, just wear whatever makes you feel comfortable. I would say smart casual, although that's open to interpretation, of course. Now, for your children, dressing your children, girls or boys, do not put your girls in skirts or dresses, is my advice. A lot of the assessments will involve your children in the playground or going up and down stairs. So I would put them in trousers, a pair of comfortable pants. Where I'm British, so I call them trousers, but not skirts and not dresses. Nothing too tight, nothing too fancy, nothing too restrictive. For boys, do not put them in a suit. Do not put them in a bow tie. Otherwise, I'm going to come and find you and hunt you down. These are, I mean, I'm talking about international schools, right? So I would say, something that they're comfortable in, and let your child choose their clothes. Let them choose what they would like to be wearing, that they feel comfortable in, that they like what they're wearing, so that they feel good about the whole experience. So that's a little bit about dress. And then the other thing is about behavior. I'm just writing this down as I said to my clients the other day, so be on your best behavior, like I'm speaking to children. And I don't mean it in a patronizing way, but another one of my clients said to me the other day, she said, we felt like they were watching us from the moment that we entered the campus. It felt like that because they are, not in an insidious way, but they are. So I've got lessons on this, like reams and reams of content, but in summary, if you are, as you approach the campus, follow all of the instructions to a T. Okay, if the school says that we have no parking, don't try and park around the school. Don't have your driver hanging around. Just keep it clear and be respectful of what they've asked you to do, and be respectful of all of the other parents who are attending on the same day. So follow the instructions to a T. If it says bring things, then bring what they've asked for, but don't bring anything extra. Just what they've asked for, exactly what they've asked for. Read the instructions. And then when you arrive, imagine that they are watching you from the moment that you get out of the taxi or you walk up to the campus entrance, how you interact with the security guard, how you interact with all the people that you meet who are leading you to the area where you'll be waiting, how you interact with each other, and how you interact with your child. They are watching you, but not in an insidious way. Again, it's just all about finding the fit. So they're just looking to see that the interactions between you, between everyone, is what they're looking for, is respectful, polite, natural, and normal, I would say. If your child does, this is difficult, but we are speaking about small children, and if they do have a little bit of a meltdown or a breakdown, then how you respond and how you react to that is going to be quite telling. So that's 3 do's. Is that okay? Visit the school, dress appropriately, and be on your best behavior. Okay. Don'ts. I've only written down one, but I might be able to think of others as I go along. The most obvious one is easy to say, but hard to do, is don't stress. I know. But children will feed off of that stress. They will sense it, and they will feed off of that. So as far as possible, if you can just think of this as it's an experience. It's an experience that you're going to go through because you're trying, right? And if it doesn't work out, their loss. If it doesn't work out, it wasn't meant to be. But if you have it in your mind that, this is the school that you have got your hearts set on, and you want it so much, and you're so desperate for it to go well, that could cause you stress, in my opinion. So don't stress. What are the don'ts? Let me flip around some of the do's, maybe. For very, very little ones, for the 3-year-olds, they will be able to have a parent to accompany them. And so for the rising 3-year-olds, so maybe they're 2 going on 3, going into nursery K1, If they're going into reception K2, they will need to be separated from you. So for the little ones, if you do have a child, if one parent is going to accompany the child in, don't send in the parent that the child is most attached to. I would generally say that the parent that they are not, yeah, whichever parent is going to have a little bit more authority, maybe it's not quite the right word, but is going to be able to steer the assessment optimally. You're going to have to decide. You can discuss that between you, like which one is your child going to be able to separate from more easily. Maybe they're not. Maybe that's, yeah, it's hard, I know, but in your family, try to figure out which parent is going to work out the best. And what are the other don'ts? Well, I've said things like, don't have your driver hanging around, don't try to park, don't have your phones on. I mean, it's the flip side of being on your best behavior. I mean, don't be distracted, I would say. Be present, be really, really focused and present. Oh, and don't ask stupid questions. There you go. There's a bonus. Don't. Oh my gosh, I see it all the time. Don't ask well, what's my definition? A stupid question is a question that can easily be researched online in about 3 seconds. Or a question that they've already answered in the presentation and you weren't listening, so then you asked that very same question. Yeah, and I would say don't ask questions in that environment. I would keep a lower profile if I were you, because most of the schools are going to, well, not all of them, about half of the schools are going to want to meet you separately as parents, or they've already done that. If they haven't met you in person, they've met you through like video interviews or what have you. So I would try not to ask any questions at the assessment during the presentation. Just keep a low profile. And then you minimize your risk of asking stupid questions. There you go. 3 do's and 3 don'ts for the assessments that are coming up for your little ones, for those rising 3s and rising 4-year-olds. So don't stress. Don't ask stupid questions, and don't disrespect the rules of the game, as it were. All of the rules. Yeah. I hope that's helpful. Do you have any questions about assessments? I talked a little bit about preparation at the top, and a few do's and don'ts for assessments for your little ones. So some of our families have been in for assessments already, and some of them are going in currently every day, and some of the older ones too. So I thought I'd do a little bit focused on assessments. Now, if you have any comments or questions, you can put them below. It says it can't post comments. I'm not sure. I'm going to go check in a moment if they're somewhere else. In the meantime, we're having a Black Friday sale, so watch out for our newsletter coming out on tomorrow. What day is today? Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow. If you find some of this content useful, there is so much more content available and so much more advice and guidance that I have put into our Finding the Fit Academy, which is taking you through the whole process systematically so you can apply to 3 schools and get at least 1 offer. If that sounds good to you, just put black in the comments and I'll make sure that I get a code over to you, which is 50% off of our Finding the Fit Academy membership for 3 days. And I think that starts tomorrow, which is Black Friday. It's not such a big thing in Hong Kong, but in the US, the UK, the Western world, and Canada, they do a lot of sales for Black Friday and Cyber Monday as well. We're not doing anything for Cyber Monday. There won't be anything better than this. This is the absolute best deal that we will do for this year. This is not the one-to-one guidance. This is a little bit more DIY if you feel like you can absorb a lot of the information and implement that yourselves. It's our most affordable membership. So just put black in the comments below, and one of my team will get the code over to you. A happy Black Friday and happy weekend. So if you are going for an assessment this weekend, don't stress. I wish you all the best. Let me know how it goes. And do you have any questions? I'm so sorry if you do have questions and I can't see them. I feel like we're having some technical, what does it say? Live viewer comments show up. Oh no, that's the wrong. No, maybe there aren't any. Well, thank you for watching. And if you're watching this on replay, then you can type a comment below as well. I'm doing lives every Thursday at 6 p.m. for the foreseeable future. Does this time work for you? We had a few comments and we were talking internally about changing the time. If you would like us to change the time, what time works for you? A little bit later. I can't do 8 p.m. because that's when I'm live with my my VIP clients in my program. But I potentially could do a 9 p.m. Although I'm generally in my bed by 10 these days, you know. No spring chicken anymore. All right. Well, let me know if you would like any of your questions answered. If you would like to take advantage of the Black Friday 50% off offer, comment black below. And if you would prefer that we would do this at a different time, and just let me know what time you prefer. Otherwise, I will see you at 6 p.m. next Thursday. No, yes, we have a special guest next Thursday. I am talking to Brian Nixon of TASIS. Is it next Thursday? It's the 5th. What date? What? Excuse me, I'm a bit. The 5th, next Thursday. I'm talking to Brian Nixon, who is the head of TASIS School just outside London. It was a pleasure to chat with him, and I visited the school. It is just so interesting. I won't give away what makes it so interesting, but you have to watch my chat with Brian, and let's hear what he has to say. If you have any questions for him, you can ask those questions to him directly as well. And then while I was there, I went there last week. I also walked around the campus, and we've also got another video coming out about that in the next couple of weeks. So thank you. Have a lovely rest of the evening. I'm Ruth from Top Schools, and I've been talking about assessment do's and don'ts. Are assessments for 3-year-olds a bit nuts? What do you think? See you next time. Bye-bye.